A new initiative is underway aimed to crack down on child sex trafficking on the Figueroa corridor. NBC4's Amber Frias is live from City Hall with more on the multi-agency effort and reaction from the community. Amber.
Is on a 3.5 part of Figueroa Street in South Los Angeles that stretches from Gage Avenue to Imperial Highway. Now, this area has long been a hub for sex workers, so much so that one mom I spoke with says she's getting ready to move her family out of there. Helen Elaine Lee has long been aware of the issues impacting Figueroa Street in South Los Angeles. But as her 5-year-old daughter has grown older, her concerns have only deepened.
My child couldn't come outside and play because somebody might be up and down the street naked.
Lee says her daughter became more aware of her surroundings and started asking questions about what she saw.
Then she would see someone young like her niece or younger cousins. So now she's wondering, why do that girl get to walk down the street with that type of outfit on? Isn't that for the swimming pool or the beach?
According to federal authorities, the Figueroa corridor, a 3.5-mile stretch of Figueroa Street, is notorious for prostitution, especially involving minors. In the last 6 months alone, Los Angeles police have rescued 84 minors from Figueroa Street, including one as young as 11 years old.
Especially at night, this area becomes an outdoor bordello. What we see along the Figueroa corridor is a human rights tragedy playing out each and every night.
In an effort to bring the problem to an end, U.S. Attorney Martin Estrada announced the creation of a new task force, which will include law enforcement to address human trafficking in the area.
My office will target the most serious offenders, particularly those offenses that involve minors, children. The District Attorney's Office has jurisdiction over prostitution offenses more generally. The City Attorney's Office can use civil tools to go after those who facilitate human trafficking, businesses such as motels.
As for the community, they remain optimistic at best.
I hope it's solved. That's what I'm going to say. I have to see it to believe it.
Lee says she's in the process of moving her family out instead. With any information on child sex crimes is urged to call police. Live in downtown Los Angeles, Amber Frias, NBC4 News.
Buy your next favorite outfit on Deep.
All right, Shalom. First and foremost, I'd like to give all honor, glory, and praise unto Yahweh, Bahashem, Havashai, Bahashem, Rakah, Badash. Double honors and respect to the elders and to the apostles of Great Millstone. Peace and blessing to all Akim that are preaching and teaching this word with 100% truth and sincerity. And unto the men, women, and children that are listening and learning. And unto the Bayat, the Dabadah, the elect house of David that is scattered abroad. I give you my utmost and sincere salutations. Okay, so what you just heard from this video here, young women being forced into prostitution in Figueroa Street in South Los Angeles. Now, sex trafficking, human trafficking, forced prostitution. This is something that's been going on since the 70s, right? So we're just going to go into a little bit of the history of what it says here, what it says forced prostitution. So let's go ahead and just zoom in here real quick. So, alright, forced prostitution, also known as involuntary prostitution or compulsory prostitution, is prostitution or sexual slavery that takes place as a result of coercion by a third party. The term forced prostitution or enforced prostitution appear in international and humanitarian conventions such as the Rome Statute of the International Criminal Court, okay, but have been inconsistently applied. Forced prostitution refers to conditions of control over a person who is coerced by another to engage in sexual activity. Okay, so just the legal situation. Forced prostitution is illegal under customary law in all countries. This is different from voluntary prostitution, which may have different legal status in different countries, which range from being fully illegal and punishable by death, to being legal and regulated as an occupation. While the legality of adult prostitution varies between jurisdictions, the prostitution of children is illegal nearly everywhere in the world. Alright? I'm not going to read more of the legality, but I'm going to get straight to the point here. Actually, let's see here. Let's see. Child prostitution. Here we go. So child prostitution is considered inherently non-consensual and exploitative. As children, because of their age, are not legally able to consent, in most countries, child prostitution is illegal, irrespective of the child reaching a lower statutory age of consent. State parties of the Optional Protocol on the Sale of Children, Child Prostitution, and Child Pornography are required to prohibit child prostitution. And it says here, the protocol defines a child as any human being under the age of 18. Unless an earlier age of majority is recognized by a country's law. Okay? So, age of majority, also known as legal age, is the threshold of legal adulthood as recognized or declared in law. It is the moment when a person ceases to be considered a minor and assumes legal control over their person, actions, and decisions, thus terminating the control of, we'll get to that in a second. Let me go into that real quick. Okay, so threshold of legal adulthood as recognized or declared by law is the moment when a person ceases to be considered a minor and assumes legal control over their person, actions, and decisions, thus terminating the control and legal responsibilities of their parents or guardian over them. Okay? Most countries set the age of majority at 18, but some jurisdictions have a higher age and others lower. Okay? So I'm going to go back to where we were. Now the protocol entered into force on 18 January 2002, and as of December 2013, 166 states are party to the protocol, and another 10 states have signed but not yet ratified it. The worst forms of Child Labor Convention 1999 of the International Labor Organization provides that the use, procuring, or offering of a child for prostitution is one of the worst forms of child labor. This convention, adopted in 1999, provides that countries that had ratified it must eliminate the practice urgently. It enjoys the fastest pace of ratifications in the ILO's history since 1919. In the United States, Victims of Trafficking and Violence Protection Act of 2000 classifies any commercial sex act which is induced by force, fraud, or coercion, or in which the person induced to perform such act has not attained 18 years of age to be a severe form of trafficking in persons. Now here, in poorer nations, child prostitution remains a serious issue. Tourists from the Western world travel to these countries to engage in child sex tourism. Thailand, Cambodia, India, Brazil, and Mexico have been identified as leading hotspots of child sex exploitation. Alright, so Thailand, Cambodia, India, Brazil, Mexico have been identified as leading hotspots of child sexual exploitation. Okay? And tourists, and it's like I said, sorry for moving the camera. So it says tourists from the Western world, so from over here in the Americas, travel to these countries to engage in this type of thing. All right. Now we'll go ahead and get into the scripts. All right. This is going to be the book of Leviticus. Okay. Actually, let me see something here. Excuse me. This is going to be this is going to be Amos. Actually, I'm going to start with Amos chapter 7, verse 17. It says, "Therefore thus saith the Lord, thy wife," and another word for wife is woman, "shall be an harlot in the city, and thy sons and thy daughters shall fall by the sword, and thy land shall be divided by lying, and thou shalt die in a polluted land. And Israel shall surely go into captivity forth of his land." Okay, so these women, your wives, being harlots in the city. Okay, and a lot of these women, a lot of Israelite women are doing just that, being harlots in the city. "And thy sons and thy daughters shall, fall by the sword," because, this land is fallen to whoredom. In fact, let me get Leviticus. Leviticus chapter 19, verse 29. And it says, "Do not prostitute thy daughter to cause her to be a whore, lest the land fall to whoredom and the land become full of wickedness." Okay? So, don't allow your daughter to become a whore, because if so, look what happens. The land falls to whoredom and the land becomes full of wickedness. So when it falls to whoredom, being, forced into prostitution. Okay? And your sons and daughters shall fall by the sword, by, judgment, whatever, this, like I said, this land is polluted, and our daughters, they gad abroad. Our sons, they themselves are wicked, effeminate fuck boys, soy boys, whatever you want to call them, and mainly engaging in acts like this and other things as well. But this is just mainly focusing on teenage girls, which are really young women. They're not minors, young adult women. So I'm gonna read it again. Leviticus 19:29. "Do not prostitute thy daughter to cause her to be a whore, lest the land fall to whoredom and the land become full of wickedness." Okay? In fact, let me get another scripture from the book of Ecclesiasticus. I'm gonna close out with this. This is gonna be Ecclesiasticus. Which one was it? Okay, where was it? It's chapter 20, Ecclesiasticus chapter 26. Let's see. I'm looking for it right now. There we go. So, it was 26 or 25. There we go. Ecclesiasticus chapter 25, verse 25. Give the water no passage, neither a wicked woman liberty to gad abroad. Okay? So, because of our women, our daughters, through this liberty that they have to do as they please, whatever they want, right? That's also putting them at risk for, getting, caught up into business that they have no business being in. This is why women are meant to stay at home, where none of this shit can happen. Okay? That's why, all this gadding abroad, you women, I'm telling you, when all hell breaks loose, these men are not going to spare you. These men are going to turn you into, they're gonna turn you into bed wenches. You will be their sex slaves. That's why we're giving you warning of this. Because you women, you know, do what you want, be all that you can be, and all that. It's gonna come a point in time where, you know, when things out here get too dangerous, you're gonna end up staying your ass at home. So, you know, take heed to the word. And this land is polluted. In fact, let me go back to Amos again. So I'm going to read that again. Amos 7:17, it says, therefore thus saith the Lord, thy wife shall be a harlot in the city. Okay? Your woman. And thy sons and thy daughters shall be fall by the sword. Okay? All our sons and daughters who commit these perverse and lewd acts, you know, shall fall by the sword, put to death. And thy land shall be divided by line, and thou shalt die in a polluted land. And we're in that polluted land. Israel shall surely go into captivity. We're in captivity of this land. Alright, this is, you know, like I said, man, this is something that's been going on for a while, a good while now. It's nothing new. But, you know, the people that are in control, they don't care, because this country, or I should say this society, is being ruled by sexual predators anyway. So, this is nothing new. Alright, so I hope this was edifying to the body, to those that are listening. I'd like to give all honor, glory, and praise to Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushai, Ba'Shem Rakak Wadash. Double honors and respect to the elders and to the apostles of Great Millstone. Peace and blessing to all Akim that are preaching and teaching His word with 100% truth and sincerity. And unto the men, women, and children that are listening and learning. And unto the Bible, the David, the house of David that is scattered abroad. I give you my utmost and sincere salutations. Okay, so remember, keep an eye on your women, especially your daughters, because this generation of women, man, especially young women, they're influenced by these OF girls or women who be, you know, pretty much, you know, they're influencing the younger generation of women that thinking that this is the best way to make money, this is the best way to do things and to be. And right now, America is truly is the city of harlots. Okay, these women out here are straight up hoes. No what ifs, buts, or what's about it. Alright, Shalom, Barakatam.